If you have a Celestron Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope, the easiest way to dew-proof it is by installing one of these dew heater rings that is made by Celestron. Today, I'm going to walk you through the installation so that you can do it with complete confidence. This is my local astronomy club's Celestron 14-inch EdgeHD Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope. And you can notice we don't have any sort of dew shield or cover on this. We just got it a few months ago, and so we're getting ready to dew-proof it. I'm going to use one of these Celestron dew heater rings that you can pick up for any size of Schmidt-Cassegrain that Celestron makes. It mounts right here on the front. On this retaining plate, it replaces that. There's only a few screws that hold it into place. It's a very quick and easy solution to make sure that your telescope stays dew-free all night long. Dew shields are one option for controlling dew on your telescope, but adding heat that's electrified is a surefire way to make sure that your telescope stays clear all night long. Now, what's nice about these dew heater rings is that they mount directly to the glass corrector plate on the telescope and apply gentle heat all night long. They work so well that you don't even need a dew shield at all. I was recently at Cherry Springs in Pennsylvania and we had a terribly dewy night. My friend had a C8, an 8-inch Celestron with only the dew heater ring on, and it kept his telescope clear all night long without a dew shield. So if you're going to be heating your telescope's optics to keep them dew-free, these heater rings are very effective. The installation process is quick and easy, although it may be a little nerve-wracking because you're holding a screwdriver directly above your telescope's optics. Celestron provides this paper template to help protect it from that, and if you follow the procedures correctly, you shouldn't have anything to worry about at all. Today, we're going to show you how to do that so you can do it completely confidently on your own. In order to complete this procedure correctly and safely, the telescope has to be upright and vertical. It doesn't have to be mounted. In this case, we already have it on its equatorial mount, so it will hold it in place. But on my telescopes at home, I've just set it upright on a chair, and it has been enough to support it and hold it in place. I'm going to go ahead and release the clutches so that we can put the telescope safely in the upright position. This has already been balanced, and so it should move nice and smooth. But man, this C14 weighs a ton. Now that this is locked firmly in the vertical position, we can go ahead and start removing the original retention plate. The only tool for this installation that you'll need is a Phillips head screwdriver. The first step in the process is to apply our paper cover template right to the corrector plate. That will make sure that it'll at least protect us a little bit from any slips and falls, although I would still hold my screwdriver pretty firmly. Next, we'll go ahead and take the screws off of the retaining ring on here. There are 8 of them on this C14. And you'll want to carefully set them aside and don't lose them. Now that all 8 screws are off, we can go ahead and carefully lift off the retaining ring. On some of the larger models, there's a pin that kind of holds it into place, but it's just flimsy plastic. Actually, that came out with no problem, and this is actually aluminum. You don't need this again, so hold on to it for safekeeping, but it won't be getting reinstalled. Next, we're going to install the actual heater ring. There is some cabling here, and that's how it gets power. And so the thing to note when you put it on is there's this compliance labeling right here, and that goes towards the dovetail of the telescope. So we are going to gently set that there, and you'll see that there is a screw hole that lines up with that. And just set it into place carefully and gently. It's that simple. So next we're going to start putting our screws back in, and you just want to barely loosely put them in first, and then as we go ahead to tighten them down, we're going to go in a crisscross pattern, not in a circle, similar to if you were tuning in drumhead or putting the lug nuts back on the wheel on your car. Getting the first 2 lined up is the challenging part. If you lift up the ring a little bit, you can see the hole, and that makes it a little bit easier to do. Jump over to this side next. Again, we're just getting these barely in here, just getting them started. But you need it to come down in nice, even tension all the way across. And it's also very important to not tighten these down too much because, one, you could either strip out the screws, which would be not good, but also overly tight will potentially add some distortions to the corrector plate, which we don't want. And the last one, in case you don't see it, is right by these wires. Now we'll tighten these down for the last time in a crisscross pattern. Okay, that's all 8. I'm going to make one more pass, but again, we don't want these to be too tight. They just need to be snug. And that's it. Comes with this little plastic clip to hold these wires in place. So we will slide that right on there. And then when you're using it, you can take these 2 cables and have them tightly held on the outside, nice and simple. Now we'll go ahead and turn the telescope back into its original position. Finally, we can remove this paper cover and we're ready to go. Nobody said this part wasn't tricky though. Probably the hardest step in the whole thing. So let's talk for a minute about operation. Now that we have this dew heater ring on here, we don't need a dew shield at all. The heat that it applies will keep this dew free all night long. But it needs a heat supply from 12 volt DC. Now Celestron gives you this cable here, and it will plug into one of these plugs here. There's only one that it'll fit in. I'll tell you what the other one is for in a second. But it will plug in here. It's just a barrel jack. And the other end of this is a RCA connector, if you could see it. These kind of connectors that you used to use on your old TVs and audio equipment have been the standard for telescope dew control for as long as I've been in this. And so they continue to use that. So what you'll need is something to power this unit, a dew controller box. They come in all sorts of varieties. Celestron has a nice big heavy one that will clip onto the dovetail here. What you really need to make sure though is that you have something that can control the level of the power. The reports have been that if you put this, just plug it directly into 12 volt DC, that this will get so hot that it causes warps in the corrector plate and you get kind of distorted images from it. It's safe, but it gets way too warm. And so putting it on a controller box and putting it at maybe 50% is more than enough to keep this clear all night long. The other plug on here is for a proprietary Celestron product. Basically it's a temperature sensor that plugs on to the bottom here, and it will sense the ambient air temperature and will auto-regulate this dew heater ring. We didn't have that. I've always just used this directly with a dew heater controller box and put it on 25 to 50% power and have had no problem using it all night. It's a really nice and simple setup, and it saves you from having a huge, gigantic dew shield that takes up a huge amount of space in front of your telescope. If you're going to be observing somewhere that's got dewy conditions, these heater rings are absolutely the best solution for Schmidt-Cassegrain telescopes if you have a Celestron. I would absolutely recommend it to anybody who has a telescope like this. These aren't all that expensive. I have an Amazon affiliate storefront in the description below, and if you purchase it using that link, it doesn't increase the cost to you and gives a small commission back to me. If you did choose to use that, thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you found this tutorial helpful, there's another video that you might like right here. Do you experience dewy conditions where you live, or are you fortunate enough to live somewhere where it's nice and dry all the time? If you haven't already, like and subscribe to my channel. This is Trevor from Night Sky Voyager, reminding you to never stop exploring.